We hate America was a big part. Okay, you realize Australia doesn't hate America, right? You realize that Australia is literally the most American country that isn't America, right? Have you been to Australia? Have you been to America if you live in Australia? I know what Australia is like. I've been to Australia. You're all Americans. You're literally like you're the exact same, like, post-British, rowdy, rootin' tootin' pointin' shootin' cowboys, cowboy hat, yeehaw, it's hot out here, fuck the local indigenous population, white boys out in the beaten southwestern sun ass motherfuckers that we are. Australia is like Florida if California had a baby. Australia is if like Florida and New Mexico had a baby. You have an independent spirit and you like cowboy hats, okay? Bullshit, Australia is way more paternalistic. Look at COVID. That's actually a fair point. Despite your very independent spirited population, your country, your government is very nanny state. Anyone else remember, like, because I heard about this all the time growing up because it was what people got mad about before the culture war, how Australia would censor, like, every game? Like, there were games like Manhunt that got censored or whatever, but it wasn't just Manhunt. It was like, oh, there's blood in that game? Fuck you. They banned guns. Which is crazy, because, like, how do you guys fight off the spiders? 2/3 of Australians say the United States cannot be trusted as a security ally. It's actually a very interesting... Okay, right, so think about it this way, folks. In terms of, like, geopolitics and our relationship to other countries, okay? If we turn our back on Canada, who do they go to? Answer's obvious, right? The European Union. The European Union's close by. It's a reliable trading partner. They have pre-existing relationships. Obviously, China's an option as well, but, you know, Canada and the EU have already strengthened ties. But Australia and China have very strong trading connections. How could they not, right? You're right there. They're literally right there. So it seems it seems like Australia is more primed than any other Western country to break with the Western trading bloc, you know? The EU is already doing it with China to an extent, but Australia has the opportunity to do even more. Who else can Australia trade with? It's difficult to trade with the EU for Australia. It's expensive. China's right there. They can trade with China more easily than any other Western country. They don't trust each other, though. It's just convenience. Well, Australia doesn't trust us anymore. Nor should they. Listen, if I was Australia, and I mean this, I would trust China way the hell more in America. Okay? Seriously, there is no country on earth more untrustworthy than the United States right now. Like Russia and Israel. And we're all friends with each other. Oh, we saw Tempe, yeah. Trump definitely had an effect on the outcome of this election. Man, look at this, dude. Question. Can Australia continue to rely on the United States for defense and national security? In June 2024, back when Biden was president, only 61% of Australians voted affirmative for America, and the answer was yes, no one president substantially affects relations. Isn't that a little bit presumptive? Like, the question just asks, can we rely on America? But the yes answer says, essentially, yeah, Trump won't happen again. Yeah, Trump wasn't that big of a deal. This has been cooking for a long time. Even coalition supporters say this. 56% of coalition supporters. Man. That was the argument the US used to placate all of its allies after the first administration? Yeah, but it was total fucking bullshit. How are you going to reassure the rest of the world that it won't happen again when Trump was allowed to continue walking around a free man after the fucking insurrection attempt? Jesus Christ! 80 years of work all undone by Trump. Well, just keep in mind, man, he's the front man, but the failings that we're seeing in this system are widespread, institutional, and from the ground up, a product of liberalism failing to meet its own standards, you know? As an Australian, I really miss Biden. As an American, I say, odd the fuck up, mate. It's a new world order, okay? Arm the missiles and fire them at DC. Now. There's no going back to the old world. How concerned are you that Trump's policies will make Australia worse off? And only 13% of the population says unconcerned or not concerned at all. Jesus. 71% is some version of concern. 16% neither. Look at the Made in Australia plan now. Yeah, I'd love to look at this boring 6-page PDF from a government. How many times did you link that? I'm just trying to find out how many years I should ban you for. Okay, you only linked it twice. You're spared. Does Australia even trade that much with the USA? I think one of the problems with US-Australian trade is that one of Australia's big exports is like meat products, but America already has a ton of animal agriculture, right? So Australia does trade a lot with China. Like they export a lot to China. But I think that there's kind of like an overlap in our exports between America and Australia, which is another argument to the idea that we're the same country, basically. Many minerals? Ah, that's true. That's true as well. Yeah. Biggest export is Fox News. How based would it be if the Labour Party declared Sky News and all other Murdoch-owned Australian news companies as enemy media, or foreign media, had them register as foreign agents and prioritize like domestic media? They tried. They should try harder. We can't. Murdoch is domestic. Oh, who cares? Whatever, man.